It's too late. All right, guys, welcome to episode 13 of Talk Before You Run. Okay, as you can see, still no cameras. We ain't fixed that yet, and for the YouTube, still working on the animation stuff to get all that set up. So as of right now, it's still gonna be like this. But as soon as we do, you'll know because when you go to watch it, you'll see it.
Exactly.
Right. You'll know when you see it. Um, Spotify. If you're listening to it on there, then well, to you, it don't make a difference either way. As long as you hear our succulent voices, that's all that matters.
He said suck.
Oh Lord.
Here we go.
Ferno always going in that. He ain't known as a two guy taker for nothing, guys. What?
I didn't hear that.
I like whip.
Yeah, just like you love British people.
Yeah,
Hey,
and French people too, right?
No, Canadians.
Well, Canadians, French Canadian.
Is it that for the French people switch?
It's Canadian people. He loves Canadian people and British people now.
Canadians are French.
I've always loved and admired the British and the Canadians.
Yeah. As soon as you found out your TikTok crushes were both Canadian and British.
They're not my crushes. They're just bad.
They're just what?
Bad what?
Not,
They're just baddies? Is that what you was fixing to say?
Go
they're
ahead and
baddies.
finish. Yeah, go ahead and finish. I was gonna say finish that sentence.
They're baddies.
Yeah?
They're munches, as Ice Spice would say.
Munches?
Munches.
Like munchkins?
I don't know what that means.
Munches. They eat. You know, you eat.
Are you a munch?
You know, you a munch.
Oh, munchies. The chips.
Oh,
Are
like a
you a
little
munch?
snack. Gotcha.
Ah, okay, makes sense.
Bevnom's trying to stay up with the lingo, but like, yeah, you know,
I was fixing to say even I'm lost on that one.
I
These
know what it
kids these
means.
days.
I know what it means, but that's only because I try to keep up. Because then you know you left out of the conversation at some point.
Yeah. I get it. I feel left out of the conversation 90% of the time.
She's a baddie with her baddie friend.
Just go look it up. You know.
I'm gonna have to start looking up a lot of things like what Riz is and all that stuff because that's getting used so much and I don't know what it means. So
It's the
It's
new
like
word
game.
for swagger. So back in my day, it was called swag. Oh, I've got the swag. I can go pick up any chick I want.
No.
No.
all right, well then what is it?
It's like game. Like I've got game. I've got
That's what
Riz-
swagger is.
Riz.
Yeah, that's
swagger is
Riz.
a YouTuber.
Charisma.
That's what swag is.
yeah,
It's-
just a different
Riz is
term.
Is your charisma, like the way you come about things, you know?
Swagger like Mick Jagger, dude. You'll never heard that. It's in a song.
Moves like Jagger?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that shit.
All right. Switch, I think
You
your
don't even
age
know
is
who Mick
starting this
Jagger
show.
is.
What are you talking about? Maroon 5.
Maroon
Yeah.
5?
Yeah, that's exactly who it is.
I thought it was the Backstreet Boys.
No,
It's
no,
in sync.
It's in sync, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, Maroon 5's the one I said. Moves like Jagger, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that has the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so that's where I got a little confused there. I thought you was talking about that Mick Jagger was part of. Okay,
No.
okay. Well, I thought you was making a joke, and that's a joke that she was making.
No. All right, Switch, we're all. Leave it. Let him be.
Hey, look. It's just Ferno in this one. He's in a box of his own, literally and figuratively.
That would be a closet.
Well, he come out the closet the day he was nicknamed the two-guy taker.
No, I told y'all that in confidence.
Well, I'm confidently telling everybody else. It's
You'll
okay.
ever tell a
It's all
joke
love.
and then like it's an original joke the first time if you ever heard it or whatever. Or in my case, I made it up myself. and then years later you get it to come back around and you see it on social media.
Yeah, every time I go back and watch videos of my life.
I was about 16 years ago, because I'm 32. Don't know if anybody knew that. I'm old, but my mom,
We're
she was
old.
she was a trucker, and we were hauling mail uh, between cities with a straight truck, and we're driving down the road, and I see this sign that says "Adopt a Highway." Y'all know what that is, right? Well, you call the number and you donate money and blah blah blah. But it's called an Adopt a Highway system or project or whatever. So
Yeah.
we're driving down the road, and I'm just thinking to myself, in my own little world, like, you know what? At what age do you tell a highway that it's been adopted? So I told that to my mom, and then I actually told it in school and everything like that. And lo and behold, 16 years later, I'm scrolling through TikTok today, and there is a place in Colorado, Indian Hills Community Center or something along those lines, and they've got one of those outside signs that you put the letters in for making your own sign, and the word for word, verbatim, they have that on there. I thought that was kind of neat, but then again, it's like, wow,
Somebody stole your joke.
exactly.
Well, that begs the question that I asked earlier. Can you copyright a joke?
I have no idea.
Okay, guys, anybody got the chance? I mean, and on YouTube, leave it in the comments. If you know if you can copyright a joke, let us know. If you're not watching on YouTube and you're listening on Spotify, go ahead and either hit up the Instagram or the Twitter and let us know on there. I'm kind of curious if you can copyright a joke or not.
Don't forget to hashtag talk before you run.
Yeah,
I mean, I
hashtag
can
talk before
answer
you
it
run
right
and we'll
now.
get back. Okay, well then answer it.
Not all jokes can be copyrighted.
Well,
Comedians and writers can make a living off of writing original jokes, but not all jokes can be copyrighted. U.S. copyright laws require that the item must be original and fixed in some tangible form to be eligible for the copyright protection. So jokes that are only utterly verbally and are eligible. So like I guess some that would have to pertain to like a story about you that the joke comes from, you know, or some that shows that like how comedians do stand up and they tell like a life story or a life experience, and in
right,
there's
right.
some kind of joke that's
Yeah.
different. You
Okay, that
know,
makes sense.
Well, you said
it's
something about tangible, so does it got to be written down first?
if you can show proof, as well as that, like as a date or something. You can't just make up a date, obviously, but like
Right.
some that proves solid evidence as a date that says, "Hey, this was my joke," before anybody even said it.
Or
Hmm.
like if you was texting somebody back and forth and you're making a joke about that, you gotta physically show the text messages on where the joke came in at.
Right, because it'd be time stamped.
Yeah, either
So
time stamped or to prove that you was the one that was actually texting that person back and forth, and that's why that became a joke in your arsenal.
yeah,
Wait,
so
so you can
you can copyright
copy
some
joke?
jokes.
Well, for anybody who wants to know, I'm the one that originated that joke, or at least I'm one person, because it may everybody's got their own mind, and somebody else could have come up with it as well.
Well, I mean, somebody
True,
must have
true.
come up with it. I mean, unless there was
Unless they
somebody
heard it.
hitchhiking in the back of your mom's truck.
Well, I told it at school too.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm the type of person that once I think of something that's funny or tell a joke, I try to tell everybody.
Yeah, we know. I mean, I'm
That's
also
very
gonna put
fun.
this out there, guys, for the people that don't know Switch. Half the time we can't tell if he's setting up for a joke or if he's being serious.
Until the punchline comes out, that's usually puns and stuff.
Yeah. So
I'm a great.
he's the
I
jokester of the group.
I tell dad jokes all the time. Sometimes he laughs.
I swear to God.
Heard that. That's I heard that. I don't know where.
That's crazy. Yeah, he's the jokester of the group.
Mm.
But
Most of them are clean jokes, but I got a dirty joke I can tell.
Yeah,
tell me a
Probably-
dirty joke.
It'd probably be the first time you'll hear me tell a dirty joke.
Okay, go ahead, tell a dirty joke.
All right. A cow fell in the mud.
Yeah.
You want to hear a clean joke? That same cow took a bath. Fired.
You want to
huh?
hear an even?
What we need to do.
You want to hear a
is we
dirty
need
joke that's twice as funny?
All right.
2 horses fell in the mud.
Good one.
You want to know what makes it even dirtier than that?
What's that?
3 came out. Oh
To
man.
horses, aren't
Yeah. Yeah. As I was saying, half the time we don't know whether or not he's fixing to deliver a punchline or a serious, answer, response, whatever it is that the
Hey, if I see
situation
a window-
requires.
Right, even.
if I see a window to put a pun in, I'm gonna put it in there.
Yeah, usually if I see a window, I just look out of it.
I like to lick them sometimes.
See, I was always been more of the Crayola guy, but I had to stop doing that because the Marines didn't like it too much.
I find that the windows on the short bus are the best flavors.
Oh yeah. Switch was the guy that sat in the back of the classroom, sniffed Elmer's glue.
It was kind of hard to lick the windows with my helmet on.
Oh, you had one of the full face helmets? They didn't just put one of like the bicycle helmets on you?
It was more akin to a football helmet.
Okay, all right, I got you. I see. I had a hard hat with one of the clear plastic things in front of it.
Oh, nice. Was yours lined with bubble wrap?
No, I didn't have to line it with bubble wrap. My head was hard enough as it was. They just didn't want me causing damage to everything else.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's great. It's funny. I mean, we can sit here and make jokes all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them may be tasteful. Some of them may not. Just depends on
Ooh.
whether or not you're willing to stick it in your mouth or not.
Speaking of tasteful, I made for lunch today. I took some pizza dough, store-bought pizza dough. I chopped it up into like cubes and flattened those cubes out, and then put a little bit of cheese in there with a little bit of smoked sausage, and put them in a muffin tin. Closed them up and put them in a muffin tin. Oh my goodness, they were so good.
Phew, that sounds good. You know what I ate for lunch today?
What's that?
Baked chicken, rice dressing, boy.
Ooh.
That's some good stuff, man. See, where I work at, they pay for our lunches, so we get we'll order from like a couple different places. They do like the plate lunches and stuff like that. So that's what we usually get. And one of the places that we order from, that's one of their plate lunches, and man, it's one of my favorites.
I think I experimented a little bit yesterday. I made my grandma a bacon, egg, and cheese English muffin.
All right.
Pardon. But instead, that's why I scrambled the eggs, but I didn't cook them yet. I was cooking the bacon, and as the bacon was cooking, I took each half of the waffle, or muffin rather, and I just dipped it. Not like a French toast dip. I just tipped the inside of it into the egg, so like egg washed it, and then I toasted that side, and then I put the cheese on there while I was cooking the bacon. And once the bacon was done, I put the bacon on there, and then I cooked the scrambled eggs, and I put that on there, and I went and gave it to her. And oh my goodness, I'm not a big English muffin fan, but boy, howdy, let me tell you, I'd definitely eat one of those every day.
It sounds good. So this is how you know we're all fat kids. We're going to sit here and talk about food for the next 30 minutes.
Right?
And I'm already hungry. So, not a good combination. I think we need to change the subject.
That's kind of a bummer because I was gonna surprise y'all with a topic that I just learned the other day on TikTok,
Well, let's go
and
shoot for it.
it pertains to cheese. Go figure.
Hey,
So
cheese is always a good thing.
y'all, I don't know if y'all are old enough to remember that or not. Baker might be. Do you remember the commercials Got Milk?
Yes, I do.
Like got milk, yeah.
Well, those commercials were funded by a company called DMA, Dairy Management Incorporated.
Mhm.
And not only those commercials, but they also teamed up with fast food chains like McDonald's, Domino's Pizza, Wendy's, and stuff like that. And their main goal was to increase the uh, quantity of cheese in their recipes and on their menus. And in exchange, they would help with marketing. And that's where you get the Got Milk commercial.
So instead of one slice of cheese, you would have got 2 slices of cheese, and they'd have got a commercial.
Exactly. That's why you got the double meat and cheese burger, is because the DMA. Well,
Thank God for the DMA.
right?
We like
Y'all
our
know.
cheese, boy.
Y'all ever heard the term government cheese?
Yeah, that's the stuff that you get in commodities.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the poor people cheese.
Right. Well, that's the whole reason why the DMA did that, because the USDA funded the DMA, or I guess the USDA was uh, the creators of the DMA.
So
But
the
anyway,
DMA was just basically a subpart to the.
yeah, it was created in 1995. But way back when, in 1949, World War II era, Agriculture Act, they had one of those to control the price of dairy products because of inflation and everything like that, deflation and whatnot. It was just unstable, the price of dairy. So the government came in and said, look, I think it was Carter to begin with. He promised to aid the farmers by buying up the milk to help stabilize the price of dairy. Well, that was going well and all, but they didn't have a place to store it, and they didn't want it to go bad and everything like that, so they turned it into like milk products like cheese and everything like that that would last longer. Well, in Missouri, we have caves filled with all this cheese. And I'm talking 1.5 billion pounds. That's billion with a B. 1.5 billion pounds of just cheese to
And,
this day.
and that's in a cave in Missouri?
And yeah, caves in Missouri.
Caves? I just need to find
Yeah.
one of them. I'd have a field day. I love me some cheese,
Billions
bro.
in like
Right.
one cave, or they're all scattered around.
Scattered around.
I think it might be a cave system. I'm not 100% sure on that. But it became a problem in the 70s. So they were like, what are we gonna do with all this cheese? And their initial plan was to just dump it in the ocean. And someone came along, I don't remember who, came along and said, "Hey, why don't we just give it away?" So Ronald Reagan in 1981 signed an Agriculture and Food Act, uh, making allowing for any state that asked for it could receive 30 million pounds for free and would be distributed to nonprofit organizations to give away, hence the government cheese. And that's when they decided, well, we need to get cheese out of here. So they decided to fund commercials and other things like that to get rid of this cheese, like Got Milk and everything like that. I thought that was pretty interesting. I never knew that.
So
Until
basically, government cheese is cave cheese.
exactly, yeah.
Government cheese was made back in what you said, 49?
It was started in '49. It's I'm sure any of the cheese that was from 49 is probably bad by now.
I don't know. Maybe the
It
caves
could,
preserve it.
right, it could be why people don't like the flavor of government cheese.
I was fixing to say, have you eaten government cheese?
I grew up on it.
Yeah, me
No, I
too.
hate it.
Well,
I mean,
I didn't say I
if you
grew up
melt
on
it,
it, but you was
if you
able to
melt
melt
it's pretty
yours?
good. A little bit. Yeah, we
Bro,
would
you
make
took a little
nacho
slice of that
cheese.
shit and stuck it in the microwave for 10 minutes and it'd still come out looking like what it was when you put it in there.
We melted it with the stove. We had a pan full of water, and then a bowl with a cheese on top, like you would chocolate or whatever, and we'd melt it that way and use it for like nachos.
Y'all got the good government cheese. We was the ones getting the old government cheese. Y'all got the
What
new
No.
you
one.
do is you take
Mm.
the cheese and then you put milk all over it. Um, with salsa. Also, you get queso.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not a
then
big
you
fan
just
of
sit there
queso,
and
but
cook it down.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You could put it in bites and pieces. Like cut it up like little queso squares.
Queso
Yeah.
cubes.
That's what my mom used to do.
What's that? Not panini. Paneer.
Panera?
Yeah, that's what they did. I saw a YouTube video. I don't know if y'all follow any chefs or anything like that on YouTube, but if you don't
Gordon
and want to,
Ramsay.
no, I don't watch him.
He's been a
The one
fatty.
I watch is way better. Uh,
I just think he's funny.
if y'all don't watch it and want to watch food recipes and stuff like that on YouTube, a great channel to watch would be Food Wishes with Chef John. He's hilarious, and he does all kinds of different things. I watched a video of his today about Panera, chili something Panera, and he did a store-bought version of the recipe and as well as homemade cheese. He made his own cheese, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to make my own cheese.
Well, it's not too hard. You just get a pot to uh, one of those like spaghetti pots,
Mhm.
and you put the milk in there. You put a little bit of lemon juice in there, and you heat it up and let it separate. Then you take the curds, and that's pretty much your cheese. You compress it into a wheel and let it sit and age, and then you don't have to let it age for very long. He let it sit for like an hour, I think is what he said, for that particular cheese. And then you can either dispose of the leftover, which is what called whey, or you can use it in other recipes.
All right, being how we're on the topic of cheese. Okay. This is the going into 30-minute
This
conversation about
topic
food like I
getting
was
kind
talking
of
about.
cheesy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I want to know what y'all thoughts is on blue cheese.
Ooh, I love it.
Me
Overrated.
too.
I don't care how rare or how fucking rich I am. I'm not eating cheese. Bro.
Blue
This shit,
cheese is not rare, and you don't have to be rich to eat it.
it's disgusting. I don't.
I like the blue cheese products. I don't know. I've never had it by itself.
So I like it because you can get the blue cheese dressing,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you can get like chunk blue cheese, like
right.
the crumbles. And man, both of them, I love both of them. I like putting the crumbles on a burger or
Ooh,
like with a
sounds good.
steak. Oh my god, that is so
I had
good.
a blue cheese chips one time when I was younger.
Blue cheese chips. I've never heard of that, but I would definitely try it.
Oh, they were good. My mom said they smelled like butt.
A lot of people don't like blue cheese. Beaker, what's your opinion on blue cheese?
I don't like blue cheese.
What
I'm
about
a lot of
Swiss?
people. I love Swiss cheese.
Ooh, gross, man.
I don't think there's a cheese that I don't like.
Cottage cheese?
So
I eat cottage
don't
cheese
like,
too.
I don't like
Bro.
cottage cheese.
I don't like no. Cottage cheese is booty.
I'm not
I
like
mean,
some people. I won't just eat it on crackers, not cottage cheese.
for me, it's like I like Kobe Jack.
Oh yeah, Kobe Jack's good.
I like me a good block of sharp cheddar.
Oh
Sharp
yeah,
cheddar's good.
sharp cheddar, regular cheddar.
But
I
like
like
just a block of it, I will open it up and eat it just like that.
what is it called? Like the mozzarella, like the cheese that's
Yeah, mozzarella and for
The
like
one that's
cheese
on
stick.
pizza.
but yeah.
I like all cheese, Gouda, everything. I mean, I
Monster.
ain't never ate some like expensive cheese.
Gouda is pretty expensive.
Yeah, but I've eaten
I
it
mean,
before
it's
at a
not like
restaurant.
right. It's not like super expensive, but it's up there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely expensive if you go buy it like a block of it or whatever. Well, I guess it doesn't really. It's not called a block, but you know.
The cheese wheel.
Yeah, cheese wheel. I mean, yeah, it's expensive, but like I've eaten it at like there was a restaurant, but like other than that, I think that's probably like the most expensive cheese I've ever eaten. And I know they got some expensive cheese out there.
Yeah, they do. There's one that I will never try. It's illegal actually in the United States. It's that one that is aged with maggots.
Oh no, I don't think I could do that. I tried.
No, no.
I'm gonna say I don't think I could do it, but I'd definitely try it at least once. I lied. I'd try it twice. I've always said that I'd try everything twice.
I don't think I could do it. Especially if the maggots were still in there.
Oh no, I'm sure they take them out.
I don't know. I don't remember. I was watching a video on it years ago. I was still in school, so I don't remember much of it.
Like, do they? I don't know.
What's worse than finding a
mean, like-
maggot in your cheese? Finding half a maggot in your cheese.
You know, that's like disgusting. I mean, it really is. Like if I bite into something and there's a maggot in it, if there's just one, I might pick it out and keep going. If I bite in there and there's like 3 or 4 of them, I might pick them out and keep going. Now, if I bite in there and there's a mouthful of them, well, fuck it, they're already in my mouth, so I'm just gonna keep going.
It's gross.
What's your opinion on people's hair in your food?
It don't bother me.
Really?
If I'm eating food and there's a strand of hair, I don't give a shit.
It's like
You're
one
fucking
strand and it's not in the food. It's like
As
on
long
or
as I
near it.
can't tell if it's a pube, you know.
Yeah, I don't. That kind of stuff don't bother me because it happens. It happens whenever I cook food in my house.
Yeah, but that's yours.
Yeah, but it's a
Yeah.
random ass strangers.
So
Yeah.
And you don't know if
It's
they've
true,
washed it.
You know?
I
Yeah,
don't
you
care.
You don't know if that came from like beard that they haven't washed out.
I mean, I'm not gonna eat the shit, but I mean, I'm
They
gonna
have
pick it out, and put it
bites,
to the
yeah.
side.
and then continue eating, right?
Yeah, and then continue eating.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna go. Oh, look, hair. It's not. I'm not gonna suck the shit up like a spaghetti noodle.
Well, I'm pretty sure, 100% sure, but like, you consume like thousands of hair follicles a day,
Yeah.
but I still couldn't sit there and eat a straight up hair.
You'd not. Well, first off,
I'm
anybody who
Bro,
goes,
I'm no pecker.
anybody who looks at a strand of hair and goes, "I want that bite," is weird. But if you just pick the hair out of your food and continue eating, it's not that big of a deal.
No, but like, if I'm eating and I pull it out of my mouth, I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm not.
That still don't bother me. Cause you look, and I'm gonna put this in perspective. You know how many times you probably actually eaten hair and you don't even know it?
A lot.
Yeah,
And I'm not talking
but,
about hair follicles. I'm talking about a strand of hair that was probably cooked into your food, and you never noticed it.
exactly.
So, but that's what I'm saying. What's the difference
Like, I
between
don't.
knowing that it's there and not knowing that it's there? The difference
Just
is
like,
not knowing you are consuming it. Knowing it's there, you can pick it out.
cause like I will eat a food without knowing about it, and I'll finish it. But when I see it, I'm just like, it's disgusting, and it
That
reminds me of the.
that'd be like if you're eating your food and you're biting that cockroach. You keep going or you stop.
I would definitely stop. Not for me.
Depends if it's what food is it? If it's a taco, I'm gonna keep on going
If it's a taco, so what makes a taco different from anything else?
because taco tastes like there's cockroaches in
Funny.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's got to be racist.
Yeah.
it.
Depending on where the taco came
Considering I've actually purposely eaten bugs, doesn't bother me.
I have too. It was a
I've ate a
cheese
long leg
powdered
before.
worm.
Well, I mean, I've eaten more than just a cheese powdered worm. I mean, I've eaten a whole spread of different bugs.
Which ones do you like best, the slimy or crunchy?
Crunchy, definitely crunchy.
Oh.
I ate a s'more with a roach in it. Well, not a roach.
That's-
I don't know if it was a roach. No, it was a cricket.
I could eat a cricket.
I would eat a cricket more over a roach.
I don't know why I
Yeah.
said roach. It was a cricket. And then there was these barbecue flavored mealworms. Those were good, and some
Ooh.
sriracha ones. Those were good too.
Nice.
So down here in New Orleans, we got the insectarium, and that's one of the things that they do at the insectarium.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, it's cool, and then a lot of it is really good. And see, because the reason why I brought that part up is because a few years ago, at one of actually the Chinese restaurant that I was telling you about that I go to all the time,
Oh yeah.
somebody had ordered something from over there, and they had a little cockroach in it. The one and only time I've ever heard anything about that, except for the fact that there used to be a dog pen behind this place, but there was never dogs in it. If you
Nor
know,
were there any strays around.
no, yeah, nor were there any stray dogs around. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Actually, there was a place down here that did get caught. Well, not
There was a
caught,
place
but
up here.
they were. They had dog meat in their freezer
Wow.
with the other meats, and it's not illegal for them to do it because it is part of their culture. But it's
Right.
illegal for it to, or it's against FDA rules for it to be.
Anywhere near other meats.
Yeah.
It's kind of like at Sonic when I worked there. We had different spatulas, different colored spatulas that we had to keep for the chicken and for the beef, and we weren't allowed to mix them up.
Well, yeah, that's for like allergy reasons and stuff like that too, though.
Yeah.
It's like you know somebody's always gonna ask the question, "Would you eat a dog?" Yes.
It depends.
Wouldn't be my dog, but
Exactly. I was about to say, yeah, I wouldn't eat my dog. No.
I'd eat somebody else's especially if it pissed me off bad enough. I mean, I'd be the first one to admit it. I live by like I said, I live by that rule. I will try everything at least twice.
Mm.
And I say twice because if I tried it the first time, doesn't mean that the second time that I won't like it too. Now, if I try it twice and I don't like it twice, that's it for me. I don't need to try it again.
Well, I say twice only because if I don't like it the first time, it's my first and last.
Yeah. Well, because I used to be like that. Like I'll only try something once, but then it is and the whole I'll try it twice thing. I actually started because of Brussels sprouts.
Oh yeah.
I think
So
you told us this.
I don't think I did. I
Yeah,
might
I
have.
remember. I remember Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. So the first time I ate Brussels sprouts, I did not like them. Like I mean, it was disgusting.
Yeah.
And
Same boat.
then I went to Golden Corral actually, and they had steamed Brussels sprouts, and they looked like really good. So I was like, I'm gonna try to eat this, and I ate it, and I've liked Brussels sprouts ever since.
I don't remember when I started liking them, but I know why I started liking them because they were steamed and buttered. Oh
Mm-hmm.
man,
That's how the ones at Golden Corral was. But now I can eat Brussels sprouts no matter how they're cooked.
yeah.
See, but
I used to
before
hate
I didn't like
spinach
them.
too.
Oh, I've always loved spinach. See, I've always, ever since I was a kid, like, you know how everybody, like, most of the time kids don't like eating their vegetables and stuff?
Right.
So, like, with me and my sister, that was never a problem. My brother, too, my little brother, I don't think it was ever really a problem with him either. He was always more picky than the rest of us, but, I mean,
Yeah,
even then,
that's
the
me.
he would still eat his vegetables, and, I mean, to this day, fruits and vegetables are, like, some of my, oh, I love it.
Oh yeah.
There's only a handful of things that I will not eat. It's sweet potatoes,
Ugh.
yams, because there's a
Same thing.
difference. There's a difference. I learned that. I was corrected on it, so now there's a difference. Even though I still think that they're the same thing, I gotta throw it out there
Exactly.
that there is a fucking difference. So sweet potatoes and yams, I won't eat, and I won't eat squash, zucchini, or eggplant, or liver, or gizzards.
Oh,
I lied. I'll eat gizzards and liver. There's only one way for each of those. I'll eat gizzards if it's in a gumbo and they're like tender. If I gotta chew on them, I'm gonna spit them out. I don't like eating rubber. Never once in my life have I seen a tire and went, "Huh, I'm gonna eat that." So I'm not gonna eat gizzards if they're chewy.
The only way I'll eat a gizzard is if a catfish has done ate it first, and I'm eating a catfish.
Yeah, see, we don't use. Well, people do use gizzards for catfish, but we use chicken liver for catfish. Best bait in the world you could use for catfish.
And
Hands
the
down.
only way I'll eat liver is in Brunswiger.
And the only way I'll eat liver is in rice dressing. And that's only because it's pureed.
Yeah,
Or,
that's pretty much what Brunswiger is. It's pureed into like a paste.
yeah. And I mean, and even then, I think I only know one person that makes theirs with liver in it, and that's my parent, and he has the best. Well, I say rice dressing, dirty rice that there is. It's good. But like my mama will eat fried liver, fried gizzards. I'm like, you're disgusting.
I don't think I've ever eaten a gizzard.
Yeah, I just
I don't even think they sell them here for like human consumption. I think the only way you can get it is through a bait shop.
you can't go to Walmart and buy gizzards.
Well, they've got a sporting goods place, and I think that's where they sell
Well, that's what I'm saying. We just go to Walmart or Rouse's or Canada's.
them. Yeah. They sell ours by the worms, I think.
It's weird. Yeah, Canada's. It's a grocery store.
Is it like Walmart?
I guess you could. It's like a Rouse's. Probably more like Rouse's than it is. I think it's a local thing down here in Louisiana. I don't think that's a
Gotta be.
like how y'all got Costco and shit.
Yeah.
Like down here by me, we don't have a Costco. We got Canada's, Rouse's, and Walmart. Actually, we got 4 Rouse's. 4 Rouse's, 2 big Walmarts, about 3 neighborhood Walmarts, and there was a Canada's on the east side of town that got tore up by the storm, so it's not there no more as of right now. And then there's 2 of them on this side of town, the side of town that I live on. I think it's either 1 or 2. We got a bunch of grocery stores.
I think Oklahoma only has the one Costco's, and it's in the city.
Well, maybe around. I'm sure they got more than just one. Just
I don't
maybe
know.
in your area, they might just have one.
Well, there's not really a whole lot going around other than close to the city. Like at the Panhandle, there hardly anybody lives over there, and if they do, they're ranchers,
See, that's the place that I'd want to live, where there's nobody else.
right?
I like seclusion.
Yeah, separatism.
I'm not gonna go as far as to say separatism. I just like my privacy whenever it comes to my own home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I live in a neighborhood now, so but I mean I grew up the first 20 years of my life I lived in a cow pasture. Lived in the back. There was nobody else around. There was a shipyard. I mean I lived across from the shipyard and all, but I mean that was no big deal. I mean they were working all the time. Wasn't like I was living in a neighborhood where I had neighbors that I had to worry about.
I've
So
been in both.
I will say this: when I moved into this neighborhood that I am, that is definitely an adjustment going from living secluded away. I mean, the dirt road that you had to drive down was a mile before you got back to the main road.
Right.
So you drive a mile down this dirt road to get to my house. Now I walk out my front door and I'm looking at the back of somebody else's house.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, I used to live in town. One place in particular for uh, about half of my life, in my 20s, up into my 20s. It's about 10 years altogether, but it was off and on. And because I moved every like 2 years or so, I would move, and we moved back to this place a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 times, and I would always change schools. And between here and Texas, I think Texas was where I was mostly in backwoods areas, and Oklahoma was all towns. Until recently, when we found this place out in the middle of nowhere.
Texas better than, huh?
No, it's too hot.
No, Texas is better.
No.
You're just jealous.
I like Texas.
Well,
I've been in Texas a couple of times. I like Texas.
you know why Oklahoma is so windy?
Why?
Because Kansas sucks and Texas blows.
That was a funny joke.
The comedian, everybody.
Yeah.
We need to get like a little stream deck that has like the '90s laughing music. So whenever he says a joke, we just play it.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
I might get a soundboard just for that. Not a soundbar, a soundboard just for that.
That'd be funny. They got a free soundboard online. There's a website for that.
Oh, of course.
over.
There's a few different websites for that, actually.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but then I was like, nah, that's too much stuff to try to keep up with. A lot of people that do that have like dual monitors that like stream and have soundboards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I have one monitor, not two, because I'm broke people.
Right.
I wonder if I can
Same
hook
here.
a TV up as a second monitor.
I am using a TV as a regular monitor, so I don't see why not.
I have two.
All right, rich people.
I have a
Dude,
TV
it's-
sitting in my living room that's doing nothing. Technically, I got two of them in there, but one of them is actually hooked up and is used. But I do have a second one that's not being used. And then I
Yeah,
did
I
give
have a
one
second
away
one.
too.
I have a second monitor that I haven't unpacked because I figured, why am I going to unpack it?
Just to pack it up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got that. And I got the PC. I just never go for it.
I want to get a second monitor because I want to get one because the one that I got's only 75 hertz. So I want to get a second monitor, a better one for like the gaming, and then I could always switch this
Yeah.
one to use it for like a
Yes, for like Twitch or for
Yeah.
chat stuff. Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna do is get a better one because when I bought this one, it was like only $350, and I bought it because I had just got the new Xbox. So yeah, no, I only bought it. It was very cheap. Now I just need to go get something better.
Yeah, so I
Use this
bought
one as
this one. I want to. Did I buy this one at the same time that I bought the parts to upgrade my PC? No, I didn't. When I bought this one, what else did I buy with it? Because the reason why I got this one is because it was a little bit cheaper. So it was like $250 for this one, and it's a Asus, so it's not it's a bad brand. Asus is a damn good brand, but
Acer brand is what I have the. I don't even remember. It's just I know I can go up to 1440 though.
Acer or Asus?
I have an Acer.
Yeah, so I have an Asus, like
Yeah.
ASUS.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Hell, actually, I think my laptop's is an Asus too. Um, there was something else that I had bought with this, and I don't remember what it was now.
So the camera?
Yeah, you're right. It was the camera because I spent
Yeah,
it was $200 for the camera, and then $250 for the monitor.
I remember you saying you bought a camera with it.
Yeah, because I still had the other camera, the first one that I had whenever I still had the TV, when I was using the TV as the monitor.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. That's why I bought the cheaper monitor, because the camera was $200.
Yeah. See, no, I don't know why.
So,
Mine's with the. I don't remember what this one is. I think mine is the 14 or the. It's a 1080, and I only bought it because really it was the only one there. All the 14s and 4Ks. The 4Ks were marked up like an extra $20 than what they were on regular price.
Hmm.
So I was like, I'm not getting that. So I just went with the 1080 and does its job.
I don't remember if the one that I had is a 4K or 1440.
I got a Scepter when I bought my PC, and I'm using that for my Xbox because it's smaller, and then I'm using a bigger screen TV for the PC.
Yeah, I can't do TVs no more. Like using a monitor has completely affected me.
Yeah, I wish I had a bigger monitor to use in place because this particular TV, the aspect ratio sucks, and I can't adjust it because there's literally only 3 buttons on the TV: the volume up, volume down, power, and the power is a doubles for the input button because it's a Roku TV.
can't you get like a remote?
No, it's a second hand.
So it didn't have a remote.
Right. I think we got it for like $100, so we were going to use it for our camera system, and I had another TV that was a bit smaller. I was like, hey, if we're just going to use this for cameras, we can see the cameras perfectly on this one. Can we trade? I shouldn't have done that because the other one was perfect. It didn't cut the edges off or anything. Like I have to make my windows smaller to be able to see everything. It's annoying.
Yeah, okay, so I just looked it up. My camera is a 4K. And it was $200, $199.99.
Not bad.
Yeah, I would not spend that on another camera.
Mm,
Well, I say that. I mean, because I use Logitech, which is, like my headphones are Logitech, my mouse is Logitech, my camera's Logitech. The only thing that's not is my microphone and um, my partial keyboard that I use for gaming
oh yeah.
are the only two things that aren't Logitech.
I
And
don't think
that's
I have anything that matches.
but the only reason why I don't have a Logitech keyboard is because this keyboard was given to me by my little brother because he didn't like it. And I was using a regular size keyboard. And I didn't like using the regular size keyboard, or at least not the one that I have, because the buttons are flat and I don't like that.
Right.
So he gave me this one because he didn't use it because he had another keyboard that he liked using. So I took this one and I just never went. I mean, I've went and looked for other keyboards, but I don't even think Logitech makes a partial keyboard, and I'm not buying a full size keyboard to play
Well,
games on.
they got those keyboards that are like split down the middle.
Yeah, you know how
I
much
don't
those
like
things
those.
are?
I do not like those.
So I was looking into that, and there was one that. So one of the streamers that I watch has one, and I'd asked him what it was, and yeah, I looked at the price of that thing, and he can keep that.
I had one, but it was an old one. It wasn't like a USB. It was pre-USB. You know, the round port on the
Hmm.
one. I got rid of it a couple years ago.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind having one like that because then I can get rid of the second keyboard that I have hooked up to my computer.
Right.
Because, I have to have two keyboards hooked up because if not, then I don't get, full
Exactly.
range of a keyboard. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind having that because it's not. But
But you're not gonna
I
get an
can't.
arm and a leg for it.
Yeah, I just can't see spending $300 on a keyboard.
Good word. I spent 16, I think, for a dual keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, but then and they got so I look on Amazon all the time because I always look for
Yeah.
like sale deals for stuff like that, and I see them all the time. But now the quality. I mean, first off, I don't need a new mouse because the mouse that I have is absolutely perfect because I have like the weights at the bottom, so I can adjust the weight of the mouse.
Oh, nice.
And
Fancy.
yeah, right. I've always preferred wired mouses because that way I don't have
Me
to
too.
worry about them dying.
Right.
Baker.
Nope. Don't look at me. I ain't never have to worry about that. Mine charges in 15 minutes or less.
Yeah, but then you go, man, my mouse is dying. But you still
Yeah,
gotta
that's
play
all right.
on. You still gotta play on controller for the 15 minutes while you're letting it charge.
No.
I can't do that. I can't switch. You see, you're good. I can't switch from controller to mouse and keyboard and back.
I spent all my life playing on controller, so now like
Me
when
too.
I play on, but like the controller I have really, I don't know. I barely use it for like certain games. Like I said, shooter games I have to be on mouse and keyboard, but I can still work with it.
Yeah, I mean, and I could still play on controller, like when we play Need for
It just
Speed and
feels
stuff. That's on
gross.
controller.
Yeah, no, that's different. No, that's different. Like you don't never want to play a racing game on mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, I do play Madden on mouse and keyboard.
Wow, if you ever play any
But
simulator on mouse
that's
and
because
keyboard.
I got you. That's because I was like, hey, look, I'm gonna try Madden on here, and you're like, wait, mouse and keyboard Madden.
Well, see,
I was like,
okay, so my biggest thing was whenever I used to play Madden, I quit playing it because it was like no longer a challenge for me. So I just quit playing Madden. Or, well, I quit, really playing Madden because that used to be my go to game, that and 2K. And I played them so much that it just got to the point to where, especially if I'm playing like a career mode and I'm on all Madden scoring 160 something points to 7 because I'll let them score because I want to run back a kick return. It just got to the point to where it wasn't no fun anymore. Then you go, hey, you can play it on mouse and keyboard, and I go, hey, I might have to get back into playing Madden. Makes it a challenge. I find a lot of things are more of a challenge on mouse and keyboard, but that's what makes the game fun again. Nah, I don't see me playing a racing game on mouse and keyboard though.
I don't play too many games on mouse and keyboard. Satisfactory and Minecraft and Scrap Mechanic. That's about it. Well, KSP.
Hmm.
I don't think
See,
I've opened up KSP to play it for like a year now.
Yeah, see,
what I can't do is I can't go to keyboard and mouse and then go to like a Switch controller. Like, it's got to be like a PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't like the PlayStation controller one bit.
yeah, I don't like them either. So growing up, it was always PlayStation. That's all, like PS2, PS3. I did have the original Xbox at one point. Then I got a 360 and I started using the 360 controller, and I was like, man, that's just so much more comfortable.
Yeah.
So then I was able to find a USB plug-in. Like it was like you plug the USB into the thing, but then it was wireless. If that makes sense.
You kind of cut out for me.
So you got a USB that plugs into the PlayStation, and
Oh,
then
right.
the controller itself is wireless. And it took AAA batteries or AA batteries, whatever it was.
Had a dongle. That's what that's called. It's a dongle.
A dongle? That's a weird name. So I'm just going to say a wireless USB controller. That was a PlayStation controller, but it was like a Xbox controller. Like
Nice.
it was built like an Xbox controller. I mean, everything was, even the triggers.
Wow.
But it was a PlayStation controller, and I used that thing forever.
Okay. 360 or like an original Xbox controller?
They're like a 360 controller, or like the Xbox One controllers now.
Hmm.
So it was like that.
I probably play PlayStation if I had that.
The only
Yeah.
thing that annoys me about the new Xbox controllers, talking about the Xbox One and up, is they replaced the start and select buttons with like a two picture button and a hamburger button. And that's just annoying. Why couldn't they just keep it start and select?
I don't know.
I understand why they got rid of the white and black button because they didn't really need it.
See,
But
my
to
Xbox controller actually has 3 buttons.
Yeah, I have 2 boxes and then the 3 lines, and then I can clip stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I have
yeah,
the third one too.
the share button, yeah, I've got that as well. But the
Wait,
360 didn't have that. The
I
360,
have a whole volume set up on my controller, and then the 3 buttons and the home button.
Wow, Beaker's got the really fancy one.
I need to buy my
Oh, Lord.
paddles.
Well, yeah, like it has like EQ, it has like center, I don't know, it has like 4 different settings with like 4 different selections, boost, like bass boost and all that stuff. You can adjust chat and volume from it instead of going to the actual like setting in Xbox. So I don't know.
Oh, that was that new controller that you had bought.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that was
Is
that
it a
aftermarket controller.
Yeah.
how much does that run you?
It was like 165. I got it for like 100.
Oh, wow.
See,
I
I
got
bought
mine.
one of the Xbox Novas, man, and those things are expensive, but those are some nice controllers.
I got
Yeah.
one of the Design Lab ones, and I got to like customize it. So it's got the the green back, and then the green toggles, and then everything else is black, and the triggers are gray. And yeah, it's also got my name on it, like gamer tag.
That's cool as shit. I
But
always
like,
wanted to order a custom controller, but I never wanted to spend the money on it.
Right. Well, I
always
was
wanted-
torn. I was
so
torn between buying it and not buying it, but I ended up going ahead and doing it.
so for me, I went with the wired controller because at the time it was the new Xbox, but I was also playing on mouse and keyboard, so I couldn't like the audio had to come through the controller, so I had to keep the controller plugged in. And having a wireless controller, it would just turn off because you weren't using it.
Right.
And so I bought a wired controller so I could just leave it plugged in, hear the audio, and use the mouse and keyboard still.
Yeah, see,
See,
that's
they
what
didn't.
I did. I just USB plugged mine in.
Yeah, they didn't have the option for wired, but I did get, or they do have the option to charge it. So that's how I play. I just keep the wire plugged into the little area, not the battery port, because nowadays you can charge the actual battery pack while it's in the controller.
Yeah, but that won't keep the controller on, though.
No.
I know I made that mistake a few times because I
Mm-hmm.
had bought the battery pack. It was a 2-pack set that you could charge the packs with a micro
Yeah.
USB or C type, whichever one, micro USB, and then
Yeah.
um,
I think it's got the C type for the actual controller, and then micro USB for the battery pack, right?
well, the Nova that I had, the red one, that I had for my other Xbox was a micro USB still. The one that I have now, whenever I bought the Series S, that one has the C type.
Yeah. For the battery pack though?
No, the battery pack was still micro USB.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But then it also
Mm.
still had the option that if you had the charging dock, you could still use the charging dock.
Oh, nice.
So we had a charging dock, that me and Sporty shared because the one that I had was broken.
Oh, rip.
So I got tired of having to go run in there and grab a battery. So that's why I bought the other one so I could charge them with the
I've got a charging
USB.
dock that I don't use. I think I've got like 3 or 4 different controllers now because my Xbox One came with the 2 remotes, like the standard one, and then they just put like one that you would buy from Walmart into the box with it, and then a charging port.
So I had 4 of them too, because I had the original controller that came with my Xbox, the first Xbox One that I had, which was actually the first gen Xbox One. So I actually had to buy the adapter to plug the headset in.
Oh wow!
So then me and Sporty both, which he still uses his, we both had bought one of the Novas, and I had bought it so I didn't have to have that piece anymore. And because I wanted a new controller, because I had like that other one was just getting old.
Hmm.
And then when I got the Series S, it came with a controller, and then my brother's Xbox it crapped out on him, so he gave me his controller that never got used.
Oh rip!
Yeah, actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's probably sitting on top of my computer. It's suspended up in the air, so I can't see from here.
Where?
My computer is above me.
Yeah, you have it like bolted on like a shelf.
Yeah. I built a shelf above because I'm in a confined area. I don't have a whole lot of space. So I built a shelf. See, actually, in the first place I had, it was the same shelf. I just took it down and re-put it up right here. With board out of the crafting section. And 2 L brackets.
Well, I mean, if it works, right?
Hey, it works, man. It's held it up. Been holding it up ever since I got the computer, because that's the only means of. Because I never wanted to put it on the floor, and my desk isn't big enough to put it on the desk with my monitor. So I was like, well, time to build a shelf. And I couldn't buy an actual shelf that was big enough, because my computer it just seems like it's so big, which I mean, I guess it is. Well, not compared to some computers that I've seen, but I mean, it is still pretty big. And even the shelf that I have now, it probably sticks off about a good 4 inches
Wow.
on the backside of it. But it also works out because the vent area for my battery pack sticks off of it. So it says getting more airflow through there.
Mine is almost the size of a lunchbox.
Yeah, but you got that micro computer.
Yeah, it works though,
You can't even change parts out in your computer.
Well, not that I'm aware of. I mean, I probably could if I knew what I was doing.
Maybe. I wouldn't take the chance though. Hell, whenever I bought the parts for my computer, I didn't even want to take the chances of changing them out. I told my brother, I said, "Hey, you know how to do this shit. You come do it." I did,
I got
and
mine
then
because it was.
then I thought he broke it because the computer wouldn't come back on after that. Oh, I was about to whoop his behind, boy. I was mad. I was like, "You know how to do this?" He was like, "Yeah, I know how to do it." Because I mean, he does it to his own computer. He's like,
Right.
"Yeah, I know how to do it." I said, "All right, well, yeah, I'm gonna let you come and do mine's then, so I don't mess anything up." And I bought a new power supply. I bought a new GPU and a new CPU. Well, the CPU that I had bought had a manufacturer error,
Oh yeah.
so it was broken from the manufacturer.
Did
So
they
when
have
we
a
put it,
recall for it?
no, they didn't have a recall for it, but I mean, it was fresh out the box, stuck in there. It just
Oh, I got you.
so when I stuck it in the when we stuck it in the computer and hooked everything back up, I was not getting power to my GPU, and we couldn't figure out why. And so, because all my fans was coming on, but my GPU itself wasn't coming on. So then we took the old GPU and put it in there, and it still wasn't getting power. So we was trying to figure it out. We was going through the power supply. Everything was working. So then we was like, well, let's just, for shits and giggles, take out the CPU and see if we put the old one back in there, if we can get power. So we took the old one back and put it back in there, and I still had the old GPU in there, and it came on. So he was like, all right, well, now let's change out the GPU and see if we get the new one to come on. And it did. So I just brought the CPU back. And they didn't have another one whenever I went back, and said they would have had to order one, which would have took, like, I think they said a month to get in. And I was like, yeah, I'm not waiting that long. Just give me my money back. So I still got the old one in there. Which the upgrade that I was making wasn't really a big one, anyways, because I have a Ryzen 5 2600X and I was going to the Ryzen 5 5600X. So it's not like it was a huge jump, but I mean, it was going to be something for, being the first round of upgrades into my computer.
When I bought PC, I was saved up for it. It's this like $800 PC, right? So when I plugged it up and it didn't turn on, I actually started crying. It wouldn't turn on, and then I realized I had to turn on the power button.
So, I did that exact same thing. I plugged the computer up and didn't realize that there was a power on the power supply itself. So when I plugged everything up and I plugged it in and I hit the power button on the top and nothing happened, I was like, you've got to be joking. But I mean, if it was broken, I mean, the guy I bought it from, I knew him. So it's not like I couldn't have went, hey, bro, what the hell's going on here? But then I realized that there was a power switch on the back of it that I needed to flip on. And then I was trying to hook it up, so I plugged my HDMI in and not realizing that now I got to plug the HDMI directly into the GPU. I was plugging it into the the
Dude,
other port
I
on
did that
top.
as well.
Yeah. So when I bought the computer, I didn't know nothing about, gaming PCs. Other than that, everything else all ran off of one set of plugs. So this one's got so many plugs on the back of it that I didn't know which one to plug it into. So I got 4 HDMI ports that don't do anything. So I plugged it into all 4 of them, and I was like, well, what's going on here? Not realizing that the
One of
GPU
them's gotta
has...
work.
Huh?
I said one of them's gotta work.
Yes, well, that's what I say. I plugged it into all 4 of them, and nothing happened.
Huh.
So then I was like, well, what's going on here? So then I moved the computer, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see. There's 2... Well, no, that one only had one more HDMI port on it, the 1060 that I had. So I was like, maybe I got to plug it into that one. I plugged it into that one, and then it came on. I was like, yes, it's not broken. I was so scared that I had wasted $800 on a computer that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See, and then,
Cried. I remember vividly.
huh?
I actually cried. Like I actually remember it so vividly.
Hey, look, if I wouldn't have figured it out, I probably would have cried too. And then I got lucky because, like I said, I knew him. I went to school with him and stuff like that, and I was friends with him, and Sporty was friends with him. So he was originally asking more for the computer, but ended up giving it to me for cheaper. Shout out to him, because if it wouldn't be for him, I don't think I would have ever got a PC, because the rest of the ones that I was looking at were like $2,000. And I was like, no, thank you.
See, mine was like $1,500, and I got it for like I think like 800 or 900.
I think mine was like 200 and change.
Yeah, so you could have got one of the ones we had for a couple $100 more.
I didn't have a couple $100 more at the time.
Well, in all actuality, like if I would have went and bought this computer new, because the only reason why I was selling this one is because he was building another computer and he needed the money for more parts because he wanted to put better parts in it. So that's the only reason why I was selling this one. And if it wouldn't have been for that, I wouldn't have got it. And I definitely wouldn't have got it for $800. Because if I would have bought it new, it probably would have cost me about $1,600. Because I priced out all the parts that was in there. Because he sent me a list of everything that was in the computer before I bought it, and I priced out the parts, and it was about $1,600.
Quality. I heard that they're going to start making games or something like that, or it was web browser. I don't remember what it was, but apparently now that web browsers are going to be able to access your GPU, whereas they used to not be able to do that. So like, you can pretty much play Call of Duty on a web browser instead of having to have everything installed.
Well, it ain't no different than getting on one of these game websites like A Games or something like that.
Yeah, for cloud gaming and whatnot.
Yeah, that's like old school stuff. I don't think anybody even knows about that stuff anymore.
Hmm.
That's the shit that you used to do on computers. Going like A Games or like Games.com, Cool Math, and stuff like that. And that's how you played your games.
Yeah, that was with Adobe though. Now they're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, they still do that. I get on there every now and again and play games.
They don't support Adobe anymore. I mean, not the websites, but like, there's no more. They quit making it.
Huh.
So I don't think you'll find any new games on like Cool Math or anything. I remember Cool Math, and the other one we used was mathisfun.com, only because I was at school and that was pretty much the only two websites that were allowed.
Yeah, we had Cool Math for the longest time. Then I think whenever I got into high school, they had actually blocked Cool Math. But I mean, by that point in time, we was all old enough. We just figured ways around it.
Yeah,
You
I heard
just go
about
through
ways
it.
around it to get to YouTube and stuff like that, but I could never figure it out.
Well, sometimes you would just have to so instead of typing in Cool Math Games, you would just type in Cool Math, and then you would click on one certain thing, and then underneath it, it'll give you suggestions for a game, and then you click the game, and it'll bring you over to the game, and then all you had to do is click the Cool Math Game thing at the top, and it'll bring you into the main menu of it. It was like simple shit like that they could not block, or maybe they just couldn't figure out how to block it.
Right. What was that underground one where it had the adult games?
I have no idea.
Oh man. That's where I was introduced to Penguin Slap or whatever. Where
Penguin Slap?
yeah, where you the penguin would drop and you would time it and hit, kind of like golf, I guess, where you would power up the swing and then time it just right to hit the penguin, and the objective was to get it to go as far as you can.
Huh. I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about, but I don't remember it being called Penguin Slap. I could be wrong though.
I could have been wrong too. I know it was penguin something.
Man, one of the funnest but stupidest games that I used to like playing was Duck Life on
Duck
Cool
Life?
Math. It used to be on Cool Math.
I don't remember that one.
I remember Duck Life.
Yeah, it was
I played it a couple
stupid,
times.
but it was like I don't even think there was an actual point to the game. Other
Where
than
you have to make the rafts and stuff.
no. You didn't have to make the rafts or nothing. It was literally you fed the duck, and I think that was it. Oh, and you raced with it.
Oh,
And the more you fed it, the faster it was, or something like that. I mean, it was stupid, but when you're in
Newgrounds.
school and you can't do anything else, that's what you had.
Newgrounds was the ones I was thinking of, not Underground. It was newgrounds.com.
they have what's it called on there? A lot of stuff on there.
I remember
Yeah.
one time, and it wasn't like under no website or anything like that, but it was in the computer lab, and one of the boys had figured out some sort of way to get around the blocking stuff, and he was on Pornhub
That's
and played a video out loud. The entire class to hear. And the teacher couldn't figure out who it was fast enough. She could narrow it down to like 5 or 6 computers because it was at the one table, but it was like in a big circle, and it was like 5 or 6 computers, and all the towers were in the middle. She didn't know who was doing it. That was funny.
I was in ag class one time, and you know the hand gesture for the shocker, which is
2 and the pinky.
yeah. Two of the yeah.
Yeah.
Someone in the classroom did that, and another kid was like, "Oh, he's throwing gang signs." So the teacher was getting onto him, and He's like, it's not a gang sign. It means the shocker. Go look it up on because there was computers in there. She did, and it was hilarious. Oh my god! Because she's looking at the screen, and you can just see the moment she realizes what she had done, and looked up and what she had come across. Because her jaw dropped, and she started blushing and everything like that. It was hilarious.
I used to mess with my teachers all the time whenever I was in school. We had one teacher. This was back whenever I was in the 8th grade. First day of class. First thing she says is that we will not be able to make her quit. Now, why was that the first thing that she said? I have no idea. She was an older
Sounds
teacher.
like a challenge to me.
Well, that's the way that me and a couple of my friends took it. And let's just say we won that challenge. It only took like 3 weeks.
Wow.
We made her retire. Like, walk out of class and then retire. But before that time, I finessed that lady out of so much money. I really did. So, at the time, I had the iPhone 4. And I had a bunch of cases for it. They were like $1. But, or were given to me. One of the two. They were either $1 or given to me. And that's all the cases that I had. And I only ever used one of them. And it was like a blue rubber case. I mean, it was basically like a condom for the phone. And, so all these other cases, I was telling her that they were like $40 and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, but I'll give it to you for like 20 or something like that. And she ended up buying like 7 cases off of me. And I was like, yeah, you're stupid.
Holy crap.
I sold her, I had a SpongeBob case. And I sold her that SpongeBob case for like $30.
Wow.
And it was like $2.
Good lord. That's crazy.
But then there was 3 of it. It was me, my friend Christian, and my friend Corey. And we all sit, and she was the one that was stupid enough to let us all sit in the same. The tables were like in 4s.
Is it just me or is he cutting in and out?
He's cutting in and out.
Cutting in.
Am I? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So we were in 4s, like the singular desks were facing each other, and it was the 3 of us, and then another chick named Haley, and we was all in that little group. And like I said, she was the one that was stupid enough to let us all sit together. So we just kept on and we made that lady's life a living hell. And like I said, she was an older lady, probably in her 60s, 70s maybe. But she should not have first off, let us sit together. Second off, she should not have challenged us not to make her quit.
Right.
And then the next teacher we got, her name was Miss Castle, and we loved her. Everybody in that class loved her. And then she quit on us.
Huh.
She left to go for another school that was paying more money.
Rip.
That was the one teacher that we didn't want to quit. Reminisce on old times.
Yeah. Nostalgia. Speaking of nostalgia, TikTok the other day showed me the video that I had posted 2 years ago, and it said on this day. So I was like, oh yeah, it gave me the option to repost it, so I did. Figured why not? It's an easy post. I can get likes or whatever activity going on in my TikTok. You know, I got more likes on it this time than I did originally.
Huh. I don't understand how the algorithm for TikTok works.
Me neither. I mean, I understand a little bit of it. So, like, the longer you view a video counts, and then if you like it, comment on it, or share it, favorite, or whatever, it boosts it'll put it out to more people. I think someone told me one time that whenever you post a video, it'll put it out to 100 people for you pages to begin with. Then if you get enough interaction with it, it'll put it out to 1,000 more or something like that.
See, that's a lie because I had gotten a lot of views that had less than 100. Yeah, I've had quite a few videos that got less than 100 views. But then I've also got a few videos that's gotten over however many views. I mean, more than 100, but six, 7, 8, couple thousand. It just, I don't know. It's weird. And and I said this before, and I'll say it again. I put all this time and effort in these videos, and I might get 100 and something views, 200 views. And the Sporty
Yes,
didn't never
Sporty
put
over
no
there.
time in his, and he'd get like
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I've got 1,700 followers, and he's got 17 followers. I'm like, this is just wrong. It's not fair. I should at least get as many views as I have followers.
Right. I don't know how much truth there is to it, but there was a rumor about there being live people behind the scenes and would boost certain things. Like if they come across a video and they decided they wanted it to go viral, all they gotta do is push a button and it goes viral.
I could see that being a thing, yeah. Like basically a big moderator.
Yeah.
I mean, because you got to think somebody has to review these TikTok videos that they're putting under
Right.
violations and stuff. Somebody's got to physically review them to make sure that they're not actually violating, or if they are violating whatever
Right.
guidelines.
They do that with YouTube as well. They pay people to watch YouTube all the time.
Yeah, I know. I would love to have that job.
I think all you gotta do is apply for it. Then you can do it from home.
All right, guys. I might be having a new job come.
You gotta snitch on your TP. They have something.
Sometimes I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
Ferno
good
speaks
start.
a different language without actually knowing he's speaking a different language.
Right? I have no clue what he just said.
You.
It was more than that.
Well, that was a different language, man. He only got to you.
Good point. It's kind of like Spanish. You can say it sounds like you're saying a whole sentence and you're only saying like 2 words.
You have to copyright people.
Copyright people, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'd love to have that job.
I don't know.
You want to sit there and steal money from people?
It's not stealing money if it shouldn't be monetized.
I tell you what, though, if I had that job, all of GunTube would be getting a pass. Not all of it, but like a majority of it that I see. Like Brandon Herrera, Off the Ranch, Demolition Ranch.
Well, a lot of those are monetized. It's just like certain things they can't
Yeah.
do. Like, so Demolition Ranch made a video about it because one of the videos that he made, one of the big things with YouTube is you cannot be shown on video making modifications to the gun. So
I remember you telling me about that. He got like demonetized on that one video for showing how to put the clip in.
no, he was putting a suppressor on there.
Oh, that's right. It was a suppressor. He did say there was an incident with a clip as well. Apparently, because I was watching one of his videos that he had a rifle on, and they were cutting out him loading the weapon.
It might have been like some kind of like speed loader or something like that he might have been using, or like an extended magazine or whatever it was.
It was just regular. He had stated that he was demonetized for showing how to load the weapon.
Yeah, so I do know one of his videos got demonetized because he was shown. He had made a video about like the world's longest suppressor or something like that. So the company had a suppressor that you can add baffles onto it.
Yeah.
So he just wanted to see how long he can go and still, before he'd get baffle strikes and stuff. Well, in the first video that he made, he didn't think about it, and he was screwing the suppressors on in the video. So he had to re-upload the video, but he just blurred out when he was, putting
Right. I think he used that same suppressor setup because it was segmented like that. He used that to test whether or not you can get better accuracy and stuff with like different chemicals. One of them being peanut butter. For whatever reason, I don't know why.
Hey, look, one of my favorite videos that he did was the video with the high points. where he was trying to
Oh, testing him
get.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to get him to explode
Right.
with barrel obstructions, and like he was putting like cement down the barrels, glue.
Welding him.
Yeah, welded the barrels, and every one of the guns survived.
Threaded him and put a bolt in it.
Yeah, every single one of them survived, and he was like,
Except for the one with the bolt, I think.
no, all of them did. He welded rebarb into one of them.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I think he did have one of them. It didn't blow the barrel, but it did
it
blow
was the
out
handle. Yeah, the barrel was fine technically, but the gun itself wouldn't be able to fire because the trigger action blew out.
Yeah, it was something like that, but it was but like even the one that he welded the end of it or welded the rebarb into it, all of those survived.
Yeah.
And then he took all of them and shot them with a 50.
I missed that bit.
Yeah, that was at the end of the video. He was determined to destroy all of those guns, and he still didn't destroy all of them. That's the funny part. They still had some that survived.
I've got a high point.
I know somebody that's got a high point, and they are about it. They're as bulky as what people say they are.
Yeah, well, not in my hands, but yeah.
Well, I mean, even in my hands, they're just heavy.
Yeah.
They're just ugly.
That too.
Mine has a laser.
Yeah, they're not aesthetically pleasing.
No, they're not
really
accurate either.
They're not very comfortable to hold either.
No. But they're fun to shoot.
Well, yeah, all of them are fun to
shoot.
shoot.
Yeah, when they do shoot.
Yeah.
I like my Canic, my Turkish made gun.
Yeah. It's Hellcat.
Yeah.
One of these
That
days.
Hellcat's nice.
One of these days, I'm going to get a French-made gun. I think it's French. Uberti. They make the 1851 Navy Colt.
Is that French or is that Spanish?
Uberti. I think it's French, and it's across the sea. I know that.
Yeah,
Both
it's across the pond, but
both Pieta and Uberti are across over there somewhere, and I want to say it's France, but I'm not 100% sure on it.
somewhere's over there.
Yeah, but they both make the 1851 Navy. They also make the Army and the Walker and everything like that.
I want like an original Colt.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Those are expensive though.
I would, yeah. I don't want to spend the money on it, but I would like to have one.
Right?
I hope one day I get a letter in the mail saying one of my relatives. Well, I don't hope that one of my relatives pass away, but if they do, that one of them had one and they would like to leave it to me.
Right?
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Very unlikely, but awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think we're gonna go ahead and call it here. We're gonna go ahead and what's that?
I was going to ask what the quote was.
Well, I'm gonna give the quote, and then we're gonna go ahead and give the outro. But our quote today is by Wayne. I had to read the name Wayne Dyer. I forgot what the name was. It says, "If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change."
That sounds familiar.
I don't
You
know.
already
It's
used that
just
one?
I have not used that one.
Oh.
I have all my quotes written down, the ones that I use. That way, I don't accidentally reuse one.
Oh.
But yeah, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
You may have said it early in a non-podcast setting.
I may have, but as far as the podcast goes, like I said, I try to keep everything. Or at least I try to keep those written down because it'd be kind of pointless to use the same one twice.
Right. What did you say his name is? Wayne. What?
Wayne Dyer.
Dyer.
Yeah, Dyer.
Okay. Cool beans.
But that's gonna be it for us, guys. Switch.
Hasta lasagna. Don't get any anya.
Baker.
Adios, mi amigos.
Fevno.
Stay hydrated.
Love y'all. Y'all have a good night.